I didn't know this information, and it led to the death of my relationship. And your relationship will continue to struggle unless you decide to learn about and acknowledge what it actually needs to survive. Things like trust, a feeling of confidence that your partner has your back. You can rely on them emotionally, physically, sexually. Trust always requires consistency in showing up, not just in the big ways, but all the little ways. If something's important to you, they also treat it as important, not because it's necessarily important to them, but because you're important to them. Trust only works if it's felt mutually in the relationship. So what's essential for trust to grow? Well, a big one is how we resolve conflicts together: listening, curiosity, empathy, understanding, apologizing. How we communicate often determines whether or not we feel valued by our partner, doesn't it? If we feel chronically dismissed, disrespected, attacked, invalidated, mocked, demeaned, on either side, I don't care who's more right and wrong, the relationship lacks trust, which means it's unsustainable. Now sure, you can stay together. Lots of couples stay together. The marriage certificate might be fully intact, but the relationship died years ago because there was no foundation of trust or intimacy or friendship or consideration or thoughtfulness or respect or kindness or warmth or accountability or selflessness. Those aren't optional or add-ons if we get around to them. They're pillars of whether your relationship house stands firm or crashes to the ground. And I get a ton of emails that essentially say, yeah, but my partner won't do that stuff. They don't think that that stuff is important. And I'm like, yeah, that's heartbreaking, because I bet you feel like your relationship house is crumbling, don't you? Because that's where that path leads. Busyness, unintentional neglect, emotional laziness, just going round and round in the same fights, selfishness, arrogance, always having to be right, refusing to self-reflect. It all has a destination: the death of your relationship. And the vast majority of us, especially you men, you don't set out for that destination, but just like me, you will be blindsided when you arrive there. You want to know why 50% of marriages fail and at least half of the ones that actually stay together are still miserable? Because for most of you, men or women, you're not capable of having a successful partnership. Because I can tell you, avoidance doesn't get you there. Running away from your problems, avoiding the tough conversations, dismissing their feelings, it always sabotages your relationships. You know what else doesn't get you there? People pleasing. Not having a mature love and respect for yourself and your own value. Being terrified to set any boundaries or have any standards of what you will and will not tolerate. That will always lead you to feeling completely neglected and dismissed and invalidated, doesn't it? That's just where that path leads. Do you know why we default to either of those? Fear. Fear of showing up as our authentic selves. Heck, most of us haven't even done the work of truly knowing who we are and what we need to feel loved and valued. Not to mention the fact that we were never taught what a successful relationship needs from both people to be successful. But when it comes crashing down, we will stick to our immature patterns and we will do what we do best: blame the other person. So what do I want you to do? I want you to stop getting in the same fights over and over. I want you to stop blaming them. I want you to look at this relationship as a whole and just see what's missing. Because you deserve intimacy and friendship and feeling like you can rely on your partner. Those aren't extra. They're the bare minimum. And I need you to talk to someone professionally. Unfortunately, I'm not a coach or a counselor yet, so I can't point you in those directions, but I really want you to find someone you're comfortable talking with, because I care about you and I care about your relationship, and you deserve respect and kindness baseline.